Wait, Pedro, wait. Check, baby, check 1, 2. Doing an audio check, everybody. Pedro and I will be with you shortly. Good day, everybody. We're going to spare you the long intro today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. The man next to me is Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst, and otherwise known as Pedro Damas. Here, it's been a great week in crypto land. You were thinking, but Tom, Bitcoin is down. It says 108 at the beginning of the week. It's at 118 or 19. How can it be a good week? It's a good week because everything that Pedro has been teaching me came to fruition this week. And I predicted the whole week out in advance. Almost. 4 out of 5 steps. And today, Pedro and I are going to talk about that, see if we can complete the week, and see if the rest of the plan will come together. Anyway, but good news out there. The PCE came in, Pedro, as expected. So no major inflation to report, no major change in consumer spending to report. That's good. Also, like I just said, BT dumps, but it's as planned. As planned, we've talked about that. Pedro, all past 2 weeks has been talking about going down to 107. Crow pulls back from its high of nearly 40 cents, local high, not all-time high, local high to 27 cents. But we talked about that yesterday, Pedro, and that's a good thing. No real new movement in Crow over the past 24 hours. It's been getting a serious amount of volume, but nothing is Nothing happened in the past probably 12 to 13 hours or so. And of course, I mentioned that the USA is using blockchain for data yesterday. And I think this is the beginning of the Bureau of Labor Statistics going to use, oh shit, what's the first one, Pedro? Chainlink?
Yeah, the first to jump on blockchain.
Chainlink, going to use Chainlink for to get data onto the blockchain. And then they say, this is all preliminary stuff, is that going to put it on 9 major blockchains. I guess once you get the data in a format that it can be put on blockchain, it's relatively easy to post it to all of them. I don't know how they're going to do that, if they're just going to use the block space or just reference what's the blockchain for data, another blockchain to the website for data that makes it immutable, IPFS or whatever. Don't know how they're going to do that, but needless to say, it's going to be a big step for the U.S. government, and hopefully, like we talked about yesterday, other cities will follow through as well. But anyway, that's all beside the point. Welcome to everybody watching us on Rumble. As always, share this in a trading group that you're in. Share this with your friends. Get your mom to watch. Put it on a separate TV and have your dog watch us. We don't care. As long as we get more people involved. Okay, not your dog, but we want to get the viewership up for this. We've been doing well all week on Rumble, and even bringing back some of our YouTube viewership, which is a good thing. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, like, comment, share, all that type of stuff. Let's see who's on the... Crypto Mike is here. Thank you very much for joining us, Crypto Mike, all the way from Manitoba. I'm closer to you today, Mike. I'm in Toronto instead of Ottawa. I am remote. It looks like I'm in the regular studio today. I've advanced my skills at doing the remote, but still, it's a little wonky for me here, and apologize if there's any audio or delays or anything like that. But anyway, let's get into Bitcoin. Pedro, what is going on with the Bitcoin?
Yeah, so Bitcoin is having its fun time here. We talked about yesterday, we talked to Tom, and Tom wanted to go short, and I said to him, well, before we go short here, it was around this time period here yesterday. Oh wait, where are we at? Right here, was this, no, Thursday 13. This is it right here. So this was the little area that we had closed off, and this area here, he was looking to short, and I said, Tom, this market first went down the first 5-10 minutes, and I said most likely we'll see it go up before we goes down here. And so that's what we saw. We saw the market come up into that area, and we saw the sell-off come in. And so the areas that I'm really looking at here right now is honestly that 107 area, relating to where just the liquidity is sitting, and that the market likes to go down to where liquidity. Now we can see an increase in volume coming in for the sellers, but also want to add in that we've been watching the traditional markets, the CME contracts here. Why is it doing that? Whatever. Okay. But I'm looking at the CME. I'm looking at the CME contract here, and the CME is kind of just showing me that it's just kind of dying off in volume, as we're seeing a transition happening here, new contract coming in, and so I say this because typically what they'll do is, when they start a new contract, if they're going to push it up, they're going to push it up. And then what do they do? Just like what we see at the end of the week, right? Or the end of the month, we see profit taking, right? So it's kind of like what we're seeing here with Bitcoin, as well as what we're seeing on the CME contract here. Came down to a demand area here on the CME contract, and we're watching kind of volume now switch over into the new contract. So let's pull that up on the CME here, and you'll see what I mean. And then when I go into Bitcoin and what I'm expecting for the next month, we're coming down to these areas here that I've been talking about, pulling liquidity into the new month, and then we'll be able to start to see it push back up into these higher levels. So let's pull that up here real quick. Where's the CME? Yeah, here we go. Micro. And we're gonna go down here.
And Pedro, as you're pulling that up, in my weekly plan that I've been talking about, I hadn't considered the end of the month, the impact of the end of the month, on the, especially since the new contract would be starting on a Monday.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And so my well, and I'll talk about, after you're done with this, I'll talk about how my first attempt at kind of having a more than a meme coin Jeet Fest view of how pricing's going to move, meaning minute to minute. But I said, all right, I'm going to look for the long term, look for the week. A lot of things I considered, and I had not considered the end of the month, and I forgot.
It's okay. It's just part of. Just put it down in your checklist, saying, all right, end of the month, we're going to see it's.
No, it foils my plan. We have a weird delay here today, Pedro.
We do. Okay. It's funny. We're both on slow mode too right now, so it's like it fits.
I know, but the stream is fine. I'm looking at the stream. The stream's fine, but Pedro and I to each other are like.
All right. I'm gonna count to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I want you to tell me when you hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4,
1,
5,
2, 3.
Or 5 seconds. We're about
5.
We're probably about 3 seconds off. 2 to 3 seconds off. Joy to you and me. But let's go into this here real quick.
Tell you what, I'm gonna refresh my page here.
Got you. While Tom is refreshing, let's finish up here real quick on the CME. So you can see here that we're seeing a drop in volume coming in. We can see that up here as the days are going into the next. You can see how volume is dropping here, and it hasn't really been much this month. Now, granted, the reason why is literally because it is the summer months, and so people are now starting to come back from their vacations. Kids are having to go to college. Many people, or many of the trader kids, are going back to school. We're going to start seeing things pick up here again. People are done from their vacationing in the Hamptons and Martha Vineyard and all those other places. If they're down in Brickell, they're coming back from, well, I guess Brickell is, you're going to, I'm assuming, Kissimmee or maybe the Keys. You would go down on vacation there, or maybe the Bahamas. I mean, it's station vacation over there, so I mean, I don't see where you would leave it. But in that same sense, you could see here that the market here, even though we're seeing a drop in what's what I want to use, volume, we're seeing a pickup overall though for the month so far, which is what we looked at here. So as that picks up, or as we're picking up into the next month for September and October, we'll start to see things kind of transition. You can see there was an increase of change of 2,000, and you saw a decrease of closing of 3,000 for the month so far. So we'll see as it comes into next month, we'll see it go. So with that said, when we look at, remind you.
Hey, Vincent, how you doing there, buddy? He's coming to us from Nigeria. Sorry, Pedro, our delay. I thought I caught you at a moment when you stopped talking there.
That's okay. I'm going to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Nope, we still have the.
How about you? It's this time you refresh your feed. I refreshed my feed. I refreshed the director's feed. Refresh your page that handles it. And while Pedro's doing that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm actually going to check to see if we have a Rumble commercial to read. And we do, ladies and gentlemen, we do. Oh, but we dropped under 10 viewers. Damn it. Let's fix that.
What about now?
Check, baby. Check. 1, 2.
All right, I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay,
it's better.
It's not such a big delay. All right. Am I in the future or are you in the future?
You're in the future, I think.
All right. Okay. I'm just saying, all right, next. Let's go into BTC. So I'm expecting, like I said, you see the sell-off here coming in. I think one of the biggest things to point out also is that when Scott Bessent talked about how the US is not going to be buying Bitcoin on the open market, it definitely hurt a lot of momentum within Bitcoin. But Scott Bessent is a finance guy and he understands how things like to get front run immediately. And part of me almost wonders if it was done purposely so that they could see a sell-off, so that we could see Bitcoin kind of see a bit of a sell-off here so they could purchase it if they're going to. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens here because of what your dad's friend, Mr. The secretary, why am I forgetting his name? Wow. What's the guy's name who is from New York? And he's your dad's friend. He's Trump's
Howard Lednick. No, he's not my dad's friend. No, he's my dad's old college roommate was his partner at Cantor Fitzgerald.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. And so, but yeah, he's still very bullish on the blockchain. He's very bullish on crypto. We're watching Crow and a lot of these coins kind of get bought up by institutions. So it's really interesting to see what's actually happening here. Part of me almost wonders, is this just part of the game, the old game of just like say no until you get it, right? Deny the rumor. And then all of a sudden, like, well, we looked at the rumor and we realized we're doing it. But that was only after the fact. I mean, when we realized that, like, they're like, oh, they're buying at these low levels.
That's when the murderer gets caught. Really? Murder is illegal? No. Oh, come on. Oh, I didn't know. So it's okay, right? What, really? Seriously? You're gonna take me to jail?
So that's pretty much in a nutshell. That's what I expect to see with Bitcoin here. Just kind of coming down to that 107 right now. We'll see what happens by the end of the day. I'm pretty positive we're going to hit that area and then see it go up. At least come and test that 100-day period moving average, which is sitting at the 111,758 area here. And then expect another sell-off again into the week coming up and then pushing back up. But remember, if we're going to see a sell-off, because we're creating a new month, we need to see a sell-off put in for the demand wick. And so I would expect to see it go down at the beginning of next week, if not week to maybe a week and a half into that next month. So you can expect that demand wick to be created.
What's your new level there?
It should be roughly, if we get down, it could be that 104 to 100 where it come and test the 8-period moving average sitting right here as the new month is created. So we would come down, create the new month, potentially come and tap. I mean, this comes down here, pushes up for the weekend, and then from there we create the new candle, comes down first, potentially hitting that 100 area, creating the demand wick, creating this.
Hey, crypto unicorns, we are early. I have an afternoon golf game with my father-in-law that I cannot pass up because it's an awesome golf course. And I'm going to lose a lot of golf balls, but so we came on early today. And just so everyone knows, crypto unicorns is my alt. I can't sit here and talk to myself without you guys. You guys know it. Since Pedro's starting to laugh, and I'm like, okay, I got to give up the ghost here.
No, man, I would have never. I just thought it was funny.
I saw you starting to break ranks there, and I'm like, I gotta be honest here.
It's all good. I love it though.
The crypto unicorns is the account I use to monitor the feed on Rumble.
It's good times.
Speaking of anyone, let's hear from everybody out there. Let's hear it. You know what, Pedro? I am gonna take this. We got 11 viewers, so I'm gonna take this opportunity to earn 13 cents.
Let's make that.
Actually, you know what? Let's check to see if. Let's see if any of the sports guys showed up today. No, not yet. Oh, wait. Oh my gosh, 22 cents with the video game people.
There we go.
Let's get this.
How many viewers do you show that we have?
Nothing better than 15. Oh God,
okay.
I'm way off on the side. All right, everybody, you guys up for a challenge? Yep, it's that time again for your, especially you gamers out there. You up for a challenge? Look, most of the world today is designed to be safe, to be easy, to give you a cheap dopamine hit without any real effort or risk. But where's the challenge in that? Where is the real reward? If you're looking for an arena with real stakes, you need to know about Entropia Universe. This isn't just another game, it's a massive multiplayer online universe with a real cash economy. Real cash. That means every single item, from the ammo you use to the armor you craft, has a tangible value tied directly to the US dollar. This is the digital frontier. It is a true free market where you can hunt creatures, mine for resources, manufacture goods, and then sell them to other players for cash. And then you can withdraw this cash right to your bank account. How about that? It's a grind. It's high risk, but the rewards are real. We're talking about players hitting jackpots worth thousands of dollars from a single loot drop. This isn't for the faint of heart. Nope. This is for the hustlers, the entrepreneurs, the people willing to bet on themselves. Will you build a digital enterprise? If you think you have what it takes to compete in an economy with real consequences, prove it. Go to joinentropia.com and start your journey. That's www.joinentropia.com. Of course, there's a QR code right here. For those of you people watching on your smart TV, hold your phone up, click it, go visit our segment sponsors here. It makes a big deal to us. Also, if you're on your phone, you can always go into the chat. There'll be a link in the chat that says learn more. And if you're watching this on the replay, you will find a link to it in the description below. So thank you to Join Entropia. Entropia? I still don't know. Joinentropia.com. Thank you to Entropia Universe for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. All right.
There you go. Yeah,
I
have
love
you
bringing
seen this
you guys
meme?
education. I love creating this great platform for Pedro to shine in. but I really like reading the ads. Like I said, I feel like a 1950s variety host. Ed Sullivan here. Oh, where did we leave off, Pedro? I think you were just starting to say something, but the delay had me continually cutting you off.
I don't know. Have you seen the Cracker Barrel meme with what's it called? The blonde chick with the jeans, and then it shows Greta
No.
with the old. Oh, dude, it's good. I'll pull it up here. Won't let me.
They had the Cracker Barrel CEO on this lady.
Look at this.
Bloomberg was trying to run her down.
So good. So good. So good. It's so epic, dude. He sat there and I was like,
that is the definition of epic.
Yeah.
Perfect. They had the Bloomberg was chasing the CEO of Cracker Barrel as this lady coming out of an event or something like that, and she made the biggest mistake. She treated it like it was a scandal, all this type of stuff. She should have come out I saw her and I said, just be honest, be real, and she avoided the topic. Blah 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 blah. She should have come out and just said, "Hey, anybody got some new Coke?" And say, "Yep, we blew that one. But everyone have a great day." And then walked away and say, "Hey, all news is good news." And never had more eyeballs on Cracker Barrel. I bet you their sales next month are through the roof. Through the old roof, ladies and gentlemen.
I was thinking about this afternoon going down there. The Cracker Barrel. It's right up the road, and get some Cracker Barrel, a little bit of brunch, early dinner.
All right, Pedro, I'm going to bring up my screen here if I can find it. I don't have the only thing different about me being remote is I don't have my Stream Deck, which I punch buttons in all day to make this wonderful thing work, and now I have to go seek out the sources. Hopefully it doesn't bring up all the porn. Oh, wait, no, never mind. That's a joke. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what I have on the screen here was the thing I've showed you. Oh my God, Jesus, just effing do this. Now the whole thing is frozen. Ah! Not the system, but my link to the show. Anyway, this is the weekly thing here, and I'm trying to turn the Bitcoin graphic off here, but it's just not working. Let me do something here. This is so annoying. Remote. Oh, I bet you someone else is streaming here somewhere using my internet connection. Anyway, what we have here is a failure to communicate.
Tom's
hold on
about
one
to
second,
yell at his
Pedro.
wife.
I gotta reconnect to this here. You watching Netflix again?
Woman!
All right.
I mean, Tom doesn't talk to his wife like that.
There we go. All right.
He's like, you should be in the kitchen cooking chicken pot pie.
When you marry up like I did, you do not.
It's like, woman!
When you marry something that no way you should have got. No way under any circumstances and any of this million dimensions that we're possibly in should I have married that. You don't talk to her like that. Oh yeah? Well, I'll just no, honey.
No.
Anyway, here's my chart from the whole week. My plan. I put together a plan for the week.
Woman, you should be in the kitchen cooking chicken pot pie now. Just like that. He does.
I would starve to death because I am the cook. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, here's my plan for the week as it started out here. If you recall, I would say my plan got about 80% of the way through the week, which is pretty good for me. I am in a short right now, and I'm up about 70% right now. in the short, getting ready to. It's getting close. The take profit is at 107.86. So it'll, with God's good graces, it'll hit that today. Otherwise, I'll front run and just close 70% of it and take the money from it. But on Monday, if you recall, everyone, and I went about talking about this in the on this show, but also in the Space Lounge events we did all week. Just kind of going over my first attempt at trying to make a plan and take into everything that Pedro's been dumping into my head here about the general rules that things that need to happen. Like when a weekly candle needs to have a demand wick, supply wick, and a body. And if you take all 752 weeks Bitcoin has been around, or however many it is, 800, 95% of them have a demand wick, a supply wick, and a body of some sort. Very few of them do not. Very few of them start the week and just launch in the other direction. It has happened, but very few of them. So when this weekly candle started and it opened down on Monday, went down, I said, all right, at some point during this week, it needs to go up and make the supply candle go up and then come back down. And believe it or not, that's something I only learned recently. And I talked to Pedro. Pedro, was it about 2 weeks ago when I said, oh my God, I finally got that. And, it's like one of the basic things that almost every trader knows, And for some reason, I had a block in my head.
Most
and I
traders
didn't get that when people...
We have a delay. Dang it. Most traders do not know that. That's the part that's so crazy to me. Like only up, only down people. I'm like, what do you, like, no, that's not the way it works. Like,
Yeah, only up, only down people. I guess those are the people that we have no hope for. But I have hope for myself, Pedro, in learning this, and that at some point that has to happen during the week. Yeah. It's obvious that, it's got to, Tom, you're just saying Bitcoin has got to go down, it's going to go up, it's going to go down, it's going to go up. We all know, everyone knows it's going to go up and down. Yes, but not in the manner in which it makes it somewhat predictable. And so if the week starts off by making the demand wick, and by Wednesday, the market had gone up and is creating the body of it, said, all right, it still needs to go up a little bit more and then come back down. And Pedro, for the past 2 weeks, has been talking about this 107 area here as being a place of liquidity. So I said, all right, so I know that it started out the week going down. It's got to do this. It's got to do that. It's got to go down. Before it goes down, it's got to go up. And so at some point during the week, it's going to go up, make that supply candle or supply wick, and then come back down. And I thought it was going to happen on Wednesday. I thought the liquidity sweep would happen on Wednesday, which would give time for a little consolidation or a retracement to show for it to go back up and then do a 786 retracement and then launch on Friday. I forgot that Friday was the end of the month and people would be unloading positions to switch over into a new contract. So my plan didn't work out as all the way, but however, it did work partially, and I was very proud of myself to apply what I've learned to a weekly plan. And it's caused me to completely look at the charts in a different way now, which is a much better way. First of all, I barely looked at the 1 minute chart all week. I've only looked at it just to see right before I get in a trade if the moving averages are going against me and things like that. And I've only made one trade this week. I went short, and I'm now up pretty significantly in it, but not in dollar volume, but in percentages is what matters. And let's see where it is. Why can't I? Oh, Thomas, there it is. Yeah, I'm up 67% in the trade, and I went short when it reached this high here on Thursday. Not the high, but when it after the show on Thursday, when Pedro and I, he was like, whatever you told me, I took into my brain. I said, okay. And then I went short because at some point it was going to dump this week. And I took a wide stop. It's not a high leverage trade. It's a low leverage trade. The stop, I wouldn't get stopped out till like 116, and my liquidation point is like, 125, or, really high. And so I wasn't at risk, and I was very calm. And it's a very different feeling, Pedro, when you can just sit there and watch it and be like, it's going according to plan. Even if it was going against me for a little bit, for about 2 or 3 hours.
Right.
And I was like, that's all right. It's going to go down. It's got to do it. And it did it. And I woke up. And in fact, I've been waiting all week for the liquidity sweep to happen. With a chart wherever I was going, and I wanted to see when it was going to start, because I wanted to learn if there was any precursor to it. And then, of course, it starts happening between 3 a.m., 3 and 4 a.m. when I'm sleeping. I woke up this morning, noodled around, and I've stopped myself from. I usually don't even charge my phone near me anymore. I put it on the other side of the room on a wireless charger, and so I don't wake up and look at the charts anymore. I wake up, I can brush my teeth, get some water, go pick up the phone or wake up the computer wherever I am. And I woke up and I did the dance. I did that. I was like, whoa! I was like, yes. And not just because I was in a winning trade. It was because I was like, what I learned worked. And that was the best feeling, Pedro. That was the best feeling, because it shows that I'm advancing at this. It's like, I took some hard classes in school, and one of them I was like, I suck at this. This class is just not any good for me. And I got the test back, and I had like an A+ on it. And I was like, no way, I got all those right. And I did the dance. I was like, yes, I learned all that. I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And that was the same feeling this morning. And so that was good. And then I'm telling you all this because I'm trying to bring the audience and all you guys along with me as I learn to do this better. We could have a show, probably get 8 times the amount of viewers of us just gambling like here. Oh, we're going long, we're going short, we're going long, we're going short. And, and just feeding money into the gambling machine. But, Pedro likes making a living trading. I'm wanting to make a living trading. And so by bringing you guys along on this journey, hopefully it's good content, and hopefully I learn better when I talk about things. And so doing this show actually helps me learn. Not just because I'm absorbing Pedro's wisdom in the back of my head, but also being able to talk about it. Because if I were to talk bullshit, my brain would be like, wait, none of that's right, But by speaking it reinforces the good stuff in your head. By reinforcing you're essentially training your brain to do something, which is awesome. Awesome. So thank you, Pedro, for helping me reach another level. Crypto Mike, the prophylactic.
You're welcome.
Prophylactic. No, the
Tom is.
What's the word I use when someone posts a lot?
Craft. Nice.
Yeah, there we go. Let's put that comment up. And dancing bananas. Thank God for the dancing bananas.
Speaking of bananas, last night I went through. Hi, Pedro. Sorry, I am like getting short of breath, which is really interesting. What I think was so interesting when I look at BTC, right? BTC is one of the ones that trades now like completely as if it's institutional. It really does. I mean, it's at a point where you can see here like the rise, the drop, the rise, the drop, and each one of these are literally based off of, I mean, look, we saw it go up, right here, here's the Asian market, right? The Asian market comes in, starts it up, pushes it up, then drops it. Then you have London coming online, right around here. And they will go through and they drop it to push it up, tap everybody out on the open, and then drop it again, right? And then they bring it back up. The Americans take over around 8 o'clock. The Americans take it up, boom, and then they drop it. It's traded so, it is institutionally traded so well now. Like they've got this thing locked in step. And so I always, and the reason why it has those forms is because you can see it has to bring in buyers, have to bring in sellers, and you need liquidity. Now, one thing about crypto that traditional stocks and also futures do not have is they do not have a religious, crazy community that is literally fanatical and that will literally sell their kidneys for something like these, i.e. crypto. Whereas in the past, we would sit there and we would see, that they would play these games, whether it was on, advertisings on TV, you would have people calling you up from brokerages, or you would have, they no longer need that, because crypto is literally internally, they have a group of people that will buy when the market is screaming up and an excessive amount, so they always have some form of liquidity coming in. I mean, look at Crow. Each one of them top 20 coins, top 30 coins have a huge, 20,000, 30,000 followers. So, and because of that, it makes it simple to be able to trade it from that level, or from that angle. And you can, that's why I use the moving averages, and yeah, that's it.
Hey, Crypto Mike posts, since T-Dot, which is a reference to Toronto. Yeah, I was just giving you times because of the delay, so it doesn't make it awkward.
Oh.
But Mike says, since T-Dot is the center of the universe, is the gravity the same here? I'm much heavier here. I weigh about 240 pounds here because the gravity is so strong. Yeah, no, I haven't fallen into that since I'm an American here, and I had large Midwestern cities are smaller than New York and LA and that type of stuff. I don't fall into that trap that many Canadians do. Like, oh my God, if it's not going on in Toronto, it's nothing.
Oh, really? Is that?
Yeah, people in Toronto, it's the financial capital of, it's essentially the New York and Los Angeles and Chicago all wrapped into one.
That's why there's so many beautiful women there. I was shocked. Remember, I told you, I was like, there's so many beautiful women here. It's amazing.
Yeah, because they're all from somewhere else. Canada's letting in another 500,000 immigrants this year. And even though they said that they had stopped behind the scenes, they're still doing it. They're letting in truck drivers that are killing people like crazy. It's unbelievable.
Wait, what?
That's a whole separate conversation. I mean, the problem we have in the U.S., it's 20 times worse here in Canada. I mean, you don't know what the language they're speaking here. They run in, all they do is run into people, and they're like, oh well, we can't afford to pay truck drivers real wages, so we have to import people from the other part of the world to pay them cheap wages. And all they need to do is pay the truck drivers regular wages, and there's tons of people that'll do it. All right, that's a totally different topic, a different thing. Pedro, I'm going to check. Where is this? Where's the studio feed? I hate it when it's this slow. Drives me crazy.
Me and Tom are having a delay here, so.
Yeah, it's driving me a little bonkers here. I'm going to read and add Pedro, and then we're going to go to commercial. Wow, this is so slow. What with the slowness is the wireless I'm using here at the house that I'm at here. That's the problem. And it just, come on, you can do it. Oh shit, I hit that wrong button. Hey, here I am. Oh, this is funny. All right, let's try this again here. Yeah, Pedro, it's definitely the wireless that's going on here. In fact, I'm going to try. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll try it while we're on commercial or something like that.
Okay.
Let's see. Which one? Which one should I do here today? Morning kick. What is morning kick? Well, I think we've done this one before. Let's try a morning kick. Hey, there's this video. It's from Chuck Norris. Yeah, it was insane. He's in his 80s and says he still feels like he's in his 50s. It was pretty shocking. He had some pretty cool tips in there too on what he's doing, including these 3 foods that he avoids like the plague. He explained all the things he was doing, and it was super simple. They're so easy, and you can do them right at home. When I first saw this, I knew I had to share this with you all. Sorry, this is delayed here. Since what happened to Chuck could also happen for you too, but with any new method, of course, your results can vary. But the video is definitely worth checking out. Watch his method now by clicking the link in the chat or scanning the QR code on your screen. You won't believe how simple it is. And it's like they had a bad AI, right? This one was not good. Sorry, guys. Anyway, with Morning Kick, unlock Chuck Norris's secret to staying strong, lean, and full of energy at 85 years old. Click the link in the chat or scan the QR code to watch now. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Morning Kick for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. Ugh. Yeah, that was... We're probably not going to get paid for that one. That one was brutal. The script was written badly. It was spaced badly. Anyway, it was like this probably completely generated by AI. I have to imagine, and it was just a disaster. A disaster, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, ladies and germs, as always, I'm practicing how to do this show better every time. So right now we're going to do our thing, which we take a commercial break, let Pedro and I top up on the coffee and tea and the pomegranate juice or whatever he's drinking, and allow us to also empty out other parts of our body. So we'll be right back. If this works.
Quick question.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for putting up with the commercial break there. Didn't run any commercials, just our placeholder and that. But we do these long shows. Got to take care of some business. This is the second half of the show. Welcome everybody watching us. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking here in the digital media universe. The man in the box above me is Pedro Garcia, the crypto chart analyst. We're talking about all sorts of things, but mostly I've been focusing on Bitcoin and my plan on it. Bitcoin is retraced from its highs earlier in the week of up around, 117, 118, something like that. Now we're at 108. As according to plan, many of you are saying, why are you planning for it to go down, Tom? We planned it because that's what it was supposed to do. The liquidity was down there, and this is where the price needed to come. So all the big institutions can fill their orders, and I still think it's got a little bit left in it to go down. I've got a short position on right now, making some good cake on it. Well, a good percentage on it, which is all that counts. And we'll see if it comes to fruition. Pure Chad in the house. Thanks for joining us, Pure Chad. Chuck Norris doesn't worry about death. Death worries about Chuck Norris. That's right. I saw the Grim Reaper running down the street once, and Chuck Norris was behind him. Thanks for watching, Pure Chad. Really appreciate it.
Chuck Norris poured root beer into a square cup, and it became beer.
Oh, the dad jokes. The dad jokes continue. Pedro, I'm gonna attempt to change my wireless thing here, so I'm gonna drop off for a second here.
Alrighty. So I hope everybody's doing well today. Let's go ahead real quick. I'm going to go over some news here, which I thought was really interesting. It's the Canadian economy declined 1.6% annualized in the second quarter, the biggest drop since the COVID pandemic. U.S. economy yesterday literally went up. Let's go into that actual number here. Give me 1 second. Yesterday, forgive me, I'm gonna cough in your guys' ear. Sorry about that. Yesterday we had initial jobs. You can see here we actually were up 3.3%. Yesterday, it actually went up, or excuse me, jobless claims dropped from it went from 234,000 to 229, which is it just means that there wasn't really any new people that came on, and the people at the very end fell off. So that's all I'm saying. And then in addition to that, where is the GDP? GDP right here increased 3.3 over so far. Over the second quarter, and I don't know about that. It's kind of
sorry, Pedro. I'm laughing at everyone's posting Chuck Norris isms.
Yeah.
Chuck Norris doesn't own a stove, oven, or microwave because revenge is a dish best served cold.
Chuck Norris.
The dinosaurs looked at Chuck Norris the wrong way once. You know what happened to them.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys.
They're good guys. Funny.
Oh, the GDP, Pedro, before the show, you were talking about GDP in Canada being down 1.3%, while the other day they reported in the US that it was up 3.3%. Is that in the US? I can't really see the screen that well. Is that a quarterly number or a monthly number?
Yeah.
Second quarter. Yeah. Okay, so that's good. I mean, if I'm guessing that's an annualized number. I mean, I don't know. Anyway, it was up 3.3%. In the same period, Canada was down 1.3%. So a 4.6% percent difference in GDP between neighbors is a lot. It's a lot. And that, everybody here in Canada, I can speak very much as an expert on this, is, they're like, we need to buy more Canadian. We need to buy Canada. Screw the US. Screw those guys. Meanwhile, they're driving their Chevy and eating McDonald's and stuff like that. Their efforts to buy Canadian and deny themselves importing goods is actually been a big net negative. And it's also caused currency to devalue even more than it already has. And people forget international trade works for a reason. It works for a reason because things work themselves out where they need to be. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. If China was a normal country, as a Western country, that effing dog punted. Every show. Doesn't bark all day, only barks during the show. If China was a regular country, like the UK or a Western country, nobody would care if manufacturing went on there, right? Because their standard of living would be the same, the costs would be the same, everything would be the same. But since it's different, we have this issue with China. But with Canada and the US, everything's the same. Chevy, hot dogs, baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet. It's all very much the same. So when you upset the balance of trade, either with tariffs, with Mr. Trump, if he had just made one tariff and then not gone back and forth, we wouldn't have this mess. But Canada, with their effort to buy everything at home, which they barely make anything here at all, is totally backfiring. It would be interesting to see if the savings rate has gone up. That would be interesting if people are just spending less money. If they're truly not buying Canadian, they're just not buying American, and thus their savings rate has gone up. That would be an interesting thing to figure out.
Yeah, when the blockchain kicks in, it's going to be really pretty cool to see active data coming in and coming out, and actually see where it's coming from. So I'm actually kind of excited about that, so that we can really see and correlate the differences. I think if America really starts to do that, the rest of the world is going to start doing that as well, and kind of see if it's legit or not. So it's going to be fun to see.
Yeah, that's what I think that's what Canada and the U.S. needs. And what Pedro's referring to is yesterday we talked about how the Bureau of Labor Statistics here in the U.S. Has been talking about putting the data that they generate and the results that they generate on the blockchain. To what level, I don't know. I don't know if they're talking about starting at the data gathering level or just the results. So nobody can, there's an immutable history of them. I'm guessing they're going to start with something simple, just get the information out there on blockchain, so it's out there, it's published, it's immutable, and then start, putting the raw data out there, so that the government can save a lot of money and get rid of a lot of employees if they just put the data out there and let the world do its thing with open data. If people come up, there will be 85,000 GitHubs of apps and all sorts of calculations that just scoop up that data and publish it. And they'll have different flavors of it. They'll have, raw data says in aggregate, here are the labor statistics. And then they'll have another one that's corrected for this and that, and this one plus or minus error rates and this kind of stuff. They'll have all sorts of that stuff. It will be awesome. And the government doesn't have to employ 1 billion people to do it. People just write apps to do it. Just do it. And so that's a good thing. And they're starting with Chainlink, Pedro. It's interesting to me. Even yesterday, even yesterday, I had to confront some bozo on social media that's saying, because crypto is a scam, and everyone that's doing anything having to do with crypto is a scammer and this type of stuff. And he's, as usual, they're almost always 70-year-old white guys.
Was it was it on Blue Skies, or where was it on?
Yes. Yeah, it was on Blue Sky, and the guy wound up in my direct messages too. And I said, look, I said it's a $4 trillion industry. You know, there's not only the value, the market cap, but there's a massive industry behind crypto now. There's companies that are investing into being crypto treasuries. They're starting to lend money in crypto. This type of stuff. The U.S. government is starting to literally, in order to use Chainlink and publish the data,
you have to buy
on the blockchain. Because we all know blockchain is separate from crypto. Crypto uses blockchain. Blockchain doesn't depend on crypto. But gas fees need to be paid, right? And so essentially the US government is going to be using
Link
to run someone in the US government and the Bureau of Labor Statistics is going to have a crypto wallet. And Link's going to have to buy some Link, probably $5 worth, and publish it. And so for these people still to be talking about it being a scam, I'm like, come on, man, it's way past that. That's like when the car, I used this example once, Pedro. It's somebody using a whole team of horses to pull a new Corvette. When the car first came out, people were like, it's a passing fancy. It's just this crazy wonky machine making a lot of noise. Who wants to drive that around? It's not elegant. Who wants to drive that thing? Well, I don't have to own horses, and nothing's gonna poop on me. All this type of stuff. And the next version of the car was a whole lot better. And the next version, they're racing around at a bazillion miles an hour on smooth paved highways. And this is essentially where we were at crypto, probably 5 or 10 years ago. And now we're, crypto's starting to be on the blockchain is now that smooth highway instead of that dirt road that was bumpy and filled with horse carriage ruts. And I can't get it through these Luddites' heads that crypto is not a scam. They're just
you
like, it's a scam,
Luddites?
there's nothing in it. Blah, blah. Yeah, is that the right word? No.
Luddites?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that.
It's not
like lug? Like
term.
lug nuts? Like those lug heads?
No, like Luddites, the Luddite. It's it. I may have the wrong word altogether there.
It's all right. You just pulled a Pedro.
All blacked out. Oh, he's talking about his car, a Dodge 2019 Ram 1500 Classic, all blacked out. Yep. Why, nice. Mike? I remember when Dodge went crazy and brought out the all-new Ram in like 1996. Instead of the square front that they all had, they brought out this big hood that had curves on it and this type of stuff. And people were like, oh my God, there's curves on the hood. And it was really cool. I remember one of our engineers, the company I was working at, bought one, and like the whole company came out and looked at it. And under the hood, it was kind of the same thing, but it had curves. And I was like, oh my God, crazy.
Yeah, I remember that. It was actually really cool.
But I am a fan, Mike, of Dodge's, the Ram trucks, especially a bunch of their diesel ones. They were very good in the industry that I was in. They had a high payload. The payload was a couple 100 pounds bigger than Ford and Chevy trucks and the heavy duty trucks, and so they did well. And now you see most of those heavy duty Dodges are they take the bed off the back, put a fifth wheel trailer on it, hitch on it, and pull those car trailers.
Yeah.
Hope Dodge realizes soon that nobody wants an EV car. I want an EV car, believe it or not. I want one just to tool around Chicago in it when I got to do errands or Ottawa or something like that.
You know what I'm really looking forward to is the ones that literally you can just call up and it literally just pulls up and you pay like 5 cents, 10 cents, or a couple bucks and to go where you need to go. And it's dirt cheap. Right now they're not that or they're expensive right now. They cost more than a Uber, but there's still a lot less comparative. So as more people start to use those driverless cars, and I guess they're all over in the Bay Area and California, they're over in Arizona and a couple other places. So it's going to be really interesting
in
to see.
Austin, Texas too. Yeah,
Austin, and I actually look forward to where I can just literally boom, just go, hey, come pick me up. And because we all pay at least $150 to $200 for insurance just for your car. It's crazy to think about that. And that's not including gas, that's not including uptake. If I could literally spend $50, $100 a month taking an Uber back and forth anywhere I want to go, or even $200, and I have to deal with the headache of potentially if somebody hits my car or something like that.
I know.
All day long.
I hate owning cars. I've been in the car business most of my life. I love cars. I love trucks. I love all kinds of machinery. But I hate owning a car. It's such a pain in the ass, especially in Chicago. God, they make it so effing hard. You have to have this sticker, you have to have that sticker, you have to have this. You get parking tickets for, this, that, and this type of stuff. The compliance time of owning a car in Chicago is such an effing pain in the ass. Let me just register for 10 years and get a sticker for 10 years. I'll pay the 10 years worth, whatever. No, we can't do that. That's not fair to the people that are poor. I was like, well, allow people to pay just 1 year or however long they want. Why should my compliance time be hours a year of my life and cost so much money? And not only that, you pay to operate your car in Chicago, you have to pay like $400 a year. And you can't drive it. And everywhere you drive, you have to pay to park, so I don't want to drive anywhere in Chicago because that's why I bought a motorcycle, because you can zip around, zoop, 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 and motorcycles don't have to pay the parking thing or have a high city sticker too. And it's so ridiculous. And so I really enjoy, I love going out in the country, and I'm probably where Mike lives. I would probably love it with land and stuff like that. You're at peace. You don't hear sirens all day. Hold on, Mrs. Striking's going somewhere real quick here. I gotta. I'll be right back.
All right.
He's leaving, and I gotta say bye.
All right. Well, guys, today is just a slow Friday, real chill. Some news that came out was that there was Eric Trump. We were speaking about him the other day. I think it was yesterday when we were speaking about him. But Eric Trump says that the Trump family loves and believes in Bitcoin. So real interesting to see what's actually happening here with Bitcoin and what's correlating there. So part of me wonders when or if, what new coin are they also going to get? Like they're at a point now where, they have literally, they have so much power. Just watching what they did with Crow Coin. It's literally doubling, if not tripling its value from, what was it, sitting around 7 cents, 8 cents to what we see today is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So
sorry about that, Pedro.
Yeah. You good?
Wow, I don't know what the heck is going on with this delay here today. This is just painful.
Yes.
Crypto Mike says, might be a hassle in the city to drive, but here a vehicle is needed, especially one that goes further than 300 kilometers. Yeah, and in the cold, they go a lot shorter distance. I saw the Cybertruck, and my first reaction was, I drew that as a kid, and nobody liked that drawing. Crypto Mike, I was watching the unveiling of the Cybertruck, and I spent 27 years in the bulletproof car business, and Elon was talking about the car because it's made of thick stainless steel being essentially bullet resistant, and it is to a point for 9mm and stuff like that. And he's talking about the glass is thick enough too that it can stop handgun rounds, and that's not unusual. The late 90s and early 80s, or late 80s and early 90s Mercedes S-Class cars did that. Not intentionally, they just made thick glass that was very soundproof. And it also stopped bullets too, because that's what thick glass does. But it still breaks. It's not like the movies where it bounces off, bing, 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 bing. You know, it just absorbs the bullet and it breaks. It has multiple layers and it just breaks. And Elon's sitting there with the rock or the hammer or whatever the heck he had. I can't remember what was in the hand. He's like, and the glass is bulletproof too. And he hits it. And I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, no, don't do that. And he hits it and it breaks. And everyone's like, ha, 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 ha. What nobody said was that it worked. You know, it didn't allow, it worked as planned. It didn't break, didn't get into the car. The object did not go into the car and kill the driver. But it still broke, and it made it look like he was an idiot when everything happened as planned. But somebody in the great scheme of the Tesla world should have briefed him on that and said, no, it still breaks. Look, here's the glass. It still breaks. It just doesn't go through. And I was just sitting there shaking my head. It's like, oh, God. Anyway, that's my remembrance of first seeing the Cybertruck. Pedro, we've got about 15 minutes left in the show here today. Yeah. Before I got to get running here. I do want to at some point close my short out here. What do you got up on the chart there?
I got Ethereum right now.
Ethereum. How's Ethereum finishing this week? Oh, down.
It's finishing actually fairly strong. I mean, it's still finishing negative, but it's still within the zone of the all-time highs. So, I mean, it's crazy. You know, it's like, again, it's higher high, higher low. You know, it's going to act as a higher low right here. So it's just, you know, higher high, higher low, higher high. So it's doing what it's doing, but it's still good. Whereas Bitcoin is more of the opposite right now. We're seeing, even though it's higher high, then you have a higher low, you have a low, now a lower low. So it's just acting a little bit different. But it's just kind of like what's going on. It's what the market's doing right now.
What's going on? I'm going.
You can see with XRP did sell off down to that. It's coming down to that lower level that I was expecting. I think we'll see it be there probably by Monday, which is going to be around that 272 area. I'm kind of looking to pick up some XRP at there, but then I'm also going to be looking to pick up XRP kind of lower levels here as we start to see it sell off. Still feel foolish that I didn't buy it at these lower levels, primarily on principle, but when in Rome, right? So, Matic.
Yeah. What? Oh, sorry, Pedro. I was reading Pure Chad's comment about taking a rock in the windshield. But what was on Ethereum on XRP? What's the next level down if it were to the price come down? Just the way I'm set up here, I can't see any small details on the screen. Ethereum, you got that dotted line drawn there.
Yeah, this is that. That was so Ethereum here would be.
No, I mean, sorry, I meant XRP.
I think you said XRP. I'm not feeling too good, so. See here, boom, boom, boom. So the next level is sitting roughly around that $2.72 area to the $2.66 area. Is that what you're asking?
Yep, that's exactly what I was asking.
Yeah. And then you've got a couple of cool things happening in that zone. You have the 8, and you have or not the 8, but you have the 100 and the 89 there. So you've got some good resistance there as we come down to that level. It'd be a good play to actually play in the futures. You're welcome.
What are the odds that XRP is going to wind up on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange?
It already is.
It is?
Yeah.
Has it been for a long time and I just didn't know it?
Nope. It's been there for... Excuse me one second. It is... Give me 1 second. I can look it up right
Ladies and gentlemen, Pedro's finding that. Thanks to everyone watching today. We really appreciate it. As usual, the Rumble crowd has come through for us while the YouTube crowd is effed off. But like I always say, do us a favor, follow us if you're watching new. Our numbers are slowly going up with the followers, and that's fine too. But as long as they keep going up, wow, that's a yawn. Woof.
Wow. I know I'm going to deal with COVID.
Yeah, that sucks, everyone. If you haven't noticed, Pedro got the Rona Bona there.
Yeah.
Not a good thing at all. Not a good thing at all. But thanks to everyone that's watching. Really appreciate it. Remember to hit the follow button, hit the like button, drop a comment, drop a chat here so we know you're here. And if you can, drop a comment in the comment section, and Pedro and I will respond to you in the comments too to get that engagement up. Helps us out all the time here.
Absolutely. I think they just did it. I think it's like 2 months old for XRP right now. And then they came out with Solana about 3 or 4 months ago. I think they'll come out with Crow next because of the whole entire Trump thing, what's happening there. So I can see Crow happening, and they would most likely take Crow, drop it, and then push it up hard again. If that happens, it's crazy to be part of this, like in the midst of this, of what's actually happening. And now you can see with XRP, the volume is dead. I mean, it's just, there's not a lot. I mean, at the most on a daily volume, you have 7,000 on, it's not that it's not that it's dead, it's just that it's a baby. You know what I'm saying? There's just not a lot of volume on baby products. And so over the next...
Yeah, that's interesting because the 24-hour volume in XRP is $7 billion. Yeah. $7 billion in XRP traded.
Yeah. Well, mind you, like I think this is a 25x of the value. So like, let me see here. Let me just run it here real quick. XRP, where are you at? I'll just put on a trade here real quick. I should probably go into sim mode first.
While Pedro's looking at XRP, I'm gonna look quickly at the Bitcoin here, see where I am in my trade.
Did they already close? I think they already closed. Oh my god.
Let's see. I am retraced a little bit, gone up a few dollars. I'm only up 60% now, but I'm confident that will dump off here in the afternoon session here.
Oh yeah, they already closed. Wow.
Was there an early close for Labor Day weekend?
No, because everything would have been closed.
Oh, right. You're looking at a million things. All right. Well, maybe XRP doesn't have the full trading hours, which would be stupid to limit it. That's why there's if they don't let it trade, all the time, then they're not gonna get the volume, especially if people have to, pay overnight fees and that type of stuff.
Let's check this out real quick. If I'm sitting there, full volume, what is the specs? I just think it's so interesting just to be a part of them putting on new products, watching these baby products get filled with volume, and then seeing them come into just watching Ethereum, which I've been doing now for a while, and watching what is it? Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I'm on the wrong one. That's why. Okay. I was like, they're closed already? I'm on grains. Yeah, grains.
Pedro.
So
Pure Chat says, but the XRP army keeps saying that XRP will flip Bitcoin. Yeah, no. Those are the Moon Boys just trying to push the price up. But literally everybody knows that's bullcrap.
Solana, here we go. So Solana here is running
Solana.
It's actually doing really well. I'm actually shocked to see how much volume is coming in for Solana. When I first started,
what Pedro's talking about is Solana trading on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
Yeah, you can actually trade the actual value. It's
and for a lot of you viewers that are crypto only, they probably don't realize that the Chicago Mercantile Exchange is not like Mexi or BidFi, our sponsor BidFi, or Bitcoin or Binance or anything like that. They are an old school proper exchange in which you can trade pork bellies, bacon, corn, just about anything you can think of that is actual real commodity on it, along with tons of financial products. And they operate with hours, they're only open certain times of the day, which is weird, for us crypto people are like, what? It's not 24/7. It's actually better because you can have a real life. But the problem is that since things trade and change prices during those off hours, holding, say you have a stop order in, and you go home on Friday with an open position but have a stop order in. You're like, I'm fine, I've got a stop order in. But the price of Bitcoin tanks and goes way past your stop order. Your stop order doesn't get hit at the price you want. It gets hit when the market opens on Monday, or not Monday, whenever it opens on the exchange, when it reopens. And so you have to put up a lot of margin. So they have what are these things called overnight fees, in which you have to pay a lot of money to ensure that you have enough margin in the case it goes way against you.
What is ratio? That is
keep getting sent YouTube videos. Sad to see that viewers jump from 70 to 80K. A lot of people are going to be very disappointed. Keep getting sent the YouTube videos. Sad to see the viewers jump from 70 to 80K. Lots of people are going to be very disappointed. Oh, with yeah.
What's he talking about? What's Pure Chat talking about?
XRP.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Well, it's funny is because they have such a huge amount of, you have so many followers that come with these organizations. Like I've talked about, they have huge liquidity pools, i.e. called the community. And it just, it's like the most perfect thing for the institutions. They no longer have to pay for, it's crazy. It just does it by itself. But real quick, let's check this out, because these are all the products. You have Bitcoin, Ethereum. I don't know what ratio is, which is interesting because it was under the product area for crypto.
Hopium sells, it seems. Yeah, Hopium sells. It sells a lot of stuff, and not just in crypto. I mean, think of the original snake oil salesman out west selling his potions.
Oh my goodness, they have a product where it trades the spread between Ethereum and Bitcoin. That is cool. What's the volume on that?
Yeah, right now it's like priced at like 40.
Nothing. Literally.
44.
This product, bro, literally has 9 contracts a day. This is, but it's funny. They would not, if they didn't think.
Do they have a micro, and the micros traded a lot?
No, there is currently no volume data for this product. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Dude, I just don't understand why the CME doesn't really completely back Binance and then get Binance and
because they're still run by the traditional guys. That's why.
It's just dumb that they just don't get it. I see, that's the part that kind of blows me away, is that in their blind lists, they just can't see it. Like for me, when Shogun finally is like, bro, you're missing out on literally so much money because of your pride, and it doesn't make sense to me. Because you are a smart dude. Like, why are you being like unintelligent here? And I was like, you're right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it just doesn't, and it finally made sense. And the same, what does Pure Chat say? I'm realistic. Why go for the hope of some alts when ETH and BTC are already doing it? Alts are going good day and swing trades though, to buy and hold more of the top performers. I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
All right, Pedro, I gotta wrap the show up here.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Thank you everybody for a good week. Really enjoyed the week. Pedro, you and I still need to figure out, we still have an hour, 1.1 hours left to do on premium. So we need to, before September 1. So we got to figure that out.
So it's this week.
We'll talk about that
live.
Yeah, at some point for an hour on that.
Yeah.
But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna skip the fanfare today and the big music and all that type of stuff, and just say thank you very much for a good week, and frankly for a great month. We had a great month here on our primary channel of Rumble, moving up in the earnings per commercial. It's been fun reading them all month. It's been fun chatting with all of you guys, especially the new viewers we gained in August, and the new chatters, and then really appreciate it. And as I always say, if you could put the word out, tell people about us during the show. Drop the link to the show in a trading group, friends group, work group. Send it to your mom, whatever. But so we're gonna sign off today in the non-normal way of not getting crazy, just saying thank you very much, and we will see you on Monday. But pay attention for a premium time if you're a Rumble Premium guy. Pedro, have a great weekend, and we'll talk later. So see you guys on the flip side. That was